morning, students. Hope you all are fine. So, today I'm going to teach you an interesting chapter. I hope you all enjoy it. This is something about the areas nearby us. Before starting chapter, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Shubhangi Sonavne from Shankarwadi, MPS. Students, before starting the chapter, I would like to share my screen. I'm going to show you one PPT in which you will understand the chapter more easier. So 1 minute, I will just start sharing my screen. Okay. So in this screen, can anyone tell me what actually the screen is about? The screen is telling you something. Can you tell? And can you tell what? 1 minute. I just went to some another screen. Okay. Can anyone tell me what is the screen about? The screen is telling us something. Guru, can you tell something about this screen? The screen is telling us about something. So here you can see the screen is about the landform. So here you can see various landforms. You have studied about it earlier. And also the altitude. So these are the altitude. So here at 0 level you can see there is a sea water. And there are some negative numbers below the 0 number, that is below the sea level, while there are some positive numbers above the sea level. So this positive number indicates about various landforms on the hill, while this negative number indicates various landforms beneath the ocean or water. So today I'm going to teach you about these landforms and ocean floor. First, let us see about this landforms that is on the land. So this part you can see, we call this as mountain. So these are the landforms that are higher than the surrounding area. While these the valley, these are the low areas between hills and mountains. Now you can also see this flat structure. So this flat structure is called plateau or hilltop. This flat structure is called as plateau. Even there is coast. Apart from these landforms, we also have deserts, coast, plains, etc. So students, we saw the structure of landforms. Now, do you think the same structure can be beneath the ocean? Let's find it out. So, our today's lesson is chapter number 4, structure of ocean floor. Today, we are going to study landforms which are beneath the oceans and what are they called as. So,
Pacific Ocean,
in this
Indian Ocean,
structure of ocean, we are going to see the relief of ocean floor and marine depositions. So these are the topics which we are going to cover in this lesson units. Now, can you see this map? This map is called as world map. In this, you can see various continents as well as oceans. Here, can somebody tell me the oceans over here? Yes, can someone answer me this question? Oceans, can you tell me, name some oceans in this picture?
So Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Southern Ocean.
Okay, thank you so much. Very good, students. So,
Southern Ocean.
again, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean. So,
Pacific Ocean.
yes, so these are some of the oceans. Now, can you see some continents? Can you see some continents over here? Can somebody tell me about this continent? So these are the
North
continents.
America,
One is
South
South
America,
America,
Africa,
Africa,
Asia,
Europe,
Australia,
Asia, Australia.
North America, South America.
Australia.
and the next last one is Antarctica. So there are 7 continents. So which are they? They are North America, South America,
South America,
Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. Okay, so from this picture, we can conclude that our most of the portion on the earth is surrounded by water. That is 71% of our earth is covered by water. So I will be explaining you this about this by giving some basic information about the ocean, which will be helpful for you to understand the chapter more clearly. Now, this is the ocean floor. You can see the picture over here. So these are the landforms which are beneath the ocean. So ocean floor is an ocean bed consisting of unmooring landforms like those on the land. So what is ocean floor? These are the unmooring landforms. These are the unmooring landforms. These are the unmooring landforms you can see beneath the ocean. Unmooring means what? Landforms which are under the water. That is ups and downs which are under the water. So there are mountains, there are valleys. So these are the landforms which are under the water. These are called as ocean floor. So landforms submerged below oceanic water is called the ocean floor. Now let's see this oceanic sediments. You can see some of these stones over here. So these are called as oceanic sediments. So materials formed due to volcanic eruptions, coverings of marine organisms or materials formed due to chemical depositions are called as ocean sediments. So materials formed due to volcanic eruptions. So you know, because the volcanoes beneath the land. So because of this eruption and the coverings of marine organisms or materials formed due to chemical depositions is called as marine ocean sediments. Remember this topic, this again sediment part is going to be repeated in the coming slides also. So remember this, sediments are the rocks which are formed due to volcanic eruptions or marine organisms or chemical depositions. You can see various types of rocks in this slide. One more thing we are going to see, that basic thing is ocean oasis. You could have seen this picture. You could have seen this picture in the geographical channel or somewhere on your TV screen. So these are called as ocean oasis. The deposition of sediments in the deeper part of oceans are called as oasis. So these are deposition of sediments. So sediments which get deposited in the deeper part of the ocean called as ocean oasis. So now remember this, all the 3 terms, that is ocean floor, ocean sediments and ocean oasis. So now let's move to our next part of the lesson, that is biosphere. You have learned about this biosphere in your earlier standard. I hope you might be remembering it. So everything in the earth is placed into one of 4 subsystems called spheres. Specifically, the lithosphere, here the biosphere. So lithosphere means what? The land. Biosphere, the living things. Then the hydrosphere means water. And the last is atmosphere. So lithosphere, that is land, biosphere, that is living things, hydrosphere is water, atmosphere is the air. These spheres are so connected to each other that the change in one sphere often results in one or more spheres. We saw in the beginning of the chapter that land and water are uneven on the earth. So land and water, they are uneven on the earth, but the water has the same level. So you can see the water is of same level. About 71% of the earth's surface is covered by water, but there is land below the ocean too. We classify all the landforms on the basis of their altitude, that is the height from the ground level. So we saw the positive and negative numbers in our first screen, so that are called as altitudes. Similar classification is done for the landforms submerged under the water too. So the landforms which are under the water also, they are also measured by the same altitude, which we saw in the negative marking. The parameters, so about 71% of the earth's surface is covered by water. So see, you can see this in the screen. We saw this in the earlier slide. So here 71%, you can see the land portion is very less and water portion is more. So it's covered by water. So the parameters for classifying landforms below sea level. So which are the parameters? They are depth of the sea, they are depth of the sea floor and the shape of the land. So these are the parameters for classifying the landforms below the sea level. Now let us learn about the relief of ocean floor. Ocean relief, it is formed due to tectonic, volcanic, erosional, decompositional processes and its interactions. So ocean relief is formed due to the tectonic and volcanic erosional deposition. So here the word tectonic, it means that the force originated beneath the surface that changes the surface structure of the earth is called as tectonic force. Now here you can see the first slide. Here the land is in a proper position, but here in the second slide, due to some force, it has got changed, and the third again it has gone changed. So this is the tectonic force which are originating beneath the surface, beneath the ocean. So because of these forces, the ocean relief is formed. This ocean relief is also called as plate movement. This tectonic force is also called as plate movement, while relief refers to the highest or lowest elevation in the area. The average depth of any ocean is around 3,700 meters. It consists of all submerged landforms. The structure of ocean floor differs from ocean to ocean. As we go away from the coast, the structure of ocean floor also changes. It includes continental shelf. So you can see over here in this picture. So this part is called as continental shelf. So the land near the coast and submerged in the sea is called continental shelf. Remember students, the land near the coast is near the coast, and submerged in the sea, which is in the sea, is called as continental shelf. So continental shelf, this is the shallowest part of the ocean and its slope is also gentle. It is not uniform everywhere. So you can see here, somewhere is narrow, somewhere it is broad. So it is not uniform. It is narrow at some places while broad at others. Its depth is up to 200 meters below the sea level. So it is 200 meters below the sea level. The continental shelf is very important from the point of view of humans, as this is the shallowest part of the ocean bed. So here you can see it is ideal for fishing. So fishing grounds cover the larger area. So the sunlight reaches the ocean bed, which is helpful for the rapid growth of algae and plankton. So why it is good for fishing? Because here there is rapid growth of algae and plankton. Now this algae and plankton is the food of the fish. So due to which the fishing grounds are formed and they can get more fish over there. So this part, this continental this continental shelf is very much important for the human beings from the point of view of fishing. Even natural oil and marine oil and various other minerals can also be obtained by mining the continental shelf. So we can also get various minerals also from this continental shelf. For example, this is Mumbai High. So this is situated in the Arabian Sea from where we get mineral oil and natural gas. So this is a Mumbai High. So here we can get natural gas and mineral oil also. Now we will learn the next part of this topic is that is continental slope. You can see in this slide. So this is the continental shelf which we did just now, and this is the continental slope. So we will see what is actually the slope between the outer edge of the continental shelf and the deep ocean floor is called continental shelf. So here what is the deep slope. So you can see the slope here. So after the continental shelf, the steep slope is called as continental slope. The depth of continental slope is 200 meters to 3,600 meters. The continental slope are the edges of continental blocks. The zones changes from continental crust and continental and organic crust. So the zones changes from continental crust to organic crust. The lower boundary of the slope is considered to be the boundary of the continents. So this lower boundary, this is the considered as the boundary of the continents. The next part is abyssal plains. So here you can just observe the picture carefully. So it was the continental shelf, the deeper portion. The deeper portion was the continental slope, and now you can see straight area. So this area is called as abyssal plain. So this is about 3,000 to 6,000 meters deep. So abyssal plain is an underwater plain on the deep ocean floor. So you can see this underwater plain on the deep ocean floor. It covers more than 50% of the Earth's surface. Now, it covers more than 50%. So after the continental slope lies the abyssal plains, which is the flat part of the seabed. The abyssal plain is the underwater plain, and it covers 50% of the Earth's surface. They are considered to be the major reservoirs for the biodiversity. That is, variety of plant life, animal life. So remember students, so these are the major reservoirs for biodiversity. That is, various plant life and variety of animal life, fungi and microorganisms can be found over here. This plain consists of various submerged landforms like hills, plateaus and many more. So this abyssal plain consists of various submerged and underwater landforms like valleys and plateaus and many others. So you might have understood about this abyssal plain. So we have learned about a continental slope, continental shelf and abyssal plains. Now we'll move to the next portion. So can you see this Andaman and Nicobar Island? So let's understand what is in this slide. So these are the hills and mountains found on the ocean bed, and they are called as submerged hills and mountains. So these are the hills and mountains found on the ocean bed. So these are called as submerged hills and mountains. Remember this, students. Undersea mountain ranges are mostly underwater or under the surface of the oceans. They are hundreds of kilometers wide and thousands of kilometers long. If originated from current tectonic forces, they are referred to as mid-oceanic ridge. There are many submerged mountain ranges on the ocean floor. Mid-Atlantic Range is the longest and continuous range extending up to 65,000 kilometers. So you can see the mid-Atlantic, you can understand this, how long it might be and how wide. So it is 65 kilometers, extending up to 65 kilometers. So while the peaks or tops of some mountains come above the sea level, so there are some mountains which come above the sea level. So these are called as marine islands. These are called as marine islands. For example, Iceland in Atlantic Ocean and Andaman Nicobar Islands. So this is that Andaman Nicobar Island, the Bay of Bengal. The top of some islands are flat and wide. So here you can see the top of some islands are flat and wide. So these such islands are called as oceanic or submarine plateaus. So here you can see in this picture the flat portion. So the top of some marine islands are flat and wide and they are called as oceanic or submarine plateau. For example, Tagus Plateau in Indian Ocean. Now you can see in the next slide. Now you can see in this next slide that boy is trying to say something. He's thinking about something. So what he's saying is that there is a steep slope over here and it is deep and narrow. So he's trying to find out what is actually about. So let's see what it is called. So this is called as marine deeps. So marine deeps are the landforms on the ocean bed which are deep and narrow and steep-sided depressions. Generally, the shallower depression are called as marine deep. So these is not too deep. So because as it is not too deep, it is called as it is shallow. It is called as marine deeps. While you can see here again, there is again the boy is thinking something that it is deeper than the marine deep. Now he is thinking that he has noticed that the earlier was shallower and this is little deep than the earlier one. So the deeper portion is called as marine trenches. So the deeper one you can see in this picture, it's deeper than the marine deep and this is called as marine trenches. For example, Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean is the deepest trench in the world. I will show you this Mariana Trench at the next slide. But this is this portion is called as, which is deep, is called as marine trench. So ocean in the deepest, it is the ocean, Mariana Trench is the deepest trench in the Pacific Ocean. So let's see the next one, that is the mid-oceanic, the most active areas in the ocean bed. So mid-oceanic submerged hill and marine trenches are the most active areas in the oceanic bed. So here you can see that most active areas. Why these are most active areas? Because uh, as because over here there is more volcanoes and earthquakes. So the mid-oceanic submerged hill and marine trench are geographically the most active areas on the ocean bed in the world. That is, its surface features are constantly being changed because of volcanoes, earthquakes, etc. So because of this, here you can find more volcanoes and earthquakes. So because of these, it keeps on changing. So it is the most active area. This constant change in the ocean bed give rise to tsunamis in the nearby coastal areas. Students, you might have noticed this, might have seen this. This is a tsunami which is caused because of the changes in the ocean floor. You might also have heard about it that many houses had got damaged. So many families have settled to some other place. Many people have lost their life. So because of these tsunamis, people had a major problems. They have to face major problems. So these occurs because of the continuous changes beneath the ocean floor. Okay. So now let us see about the marine deposition. Students, have you noticed these things nearby the ocean, nearby the sea coast or seashore? This thing you might have seen. Whenever you go to a seashore, there are some things lying near the seashore. So let's find out what it is called. Okay. So the depositions which occur on continental shelf are called marine deposits. So most of the earth is covered with the ocean. There is abundant life in the ocean. The marine beds are the deep parts of the world. The various deposits found here are pebbles, clay soil, etc., brought by rivers, glaciers, etc., by the continent. Thus, the depositions which occurs on continental shelf. So these depositions which occurs on continental shelf are called as marine deposits. So you might have seen this even in Nat Geographical channels if you see, or even when you go near the seashore, you might be seeing this. So these are called as marine deposits. So the next one is lava, ash, erupt out of volcanoes. Fine soil particles and remains of plants and animals also mixed in such deposits. So here you can see this lava coming out from the sea water and also marine sediments. You have heard this word marine sediments in the previous slides which I showed you, ocean sediments. I hope you remember that word, ocean sediments, and the concept also. So the lava or ash erupting from the volcanoes and fine soil particles and the remains of plants and animals also get mixed with this deposit. Hence, these depositions such as lava, ashes, marine sediments are called as marine oases. So these depositions are called as marine oases. We have seen about this ocean oases in the beginning of this slide. Now you can identify the type of deposits. Can you see this stone? So what is this stone about? What deposit it is called as? We found such stones near the seashore. Now next time when you go near the seashore, just try finding out some stones like this. So what are these stones useful for? I will tell you about this. These are called as sedimentary stone, sedimentary rocks. Now sedimentary rocks are very important to understand the form of marine life in the ocean as well as the availability of minerals on the ocean bed. So through this we can understand the marine life in that particular ocean and also the minerals which are available on the ocean bed. Besides, some human induced materials. So here you can see all garbage over here in these slides and also some human induced material that is made by humans which are made. So here these are not naturally formed. These are not naturally formed. This is what done by the human beings. So these human induced materials are also found near the seashore. So you might have seen this near some water bodies. So these depositions occurred by human induced materials are called as anthropogenetic deposits. So these are the deposits that are man-made deposits, not by the nature. So these deposits are called as anthropogenetic deposits. This includes sewage, solid waste, radioactive materials, waste chemicals, plastic, etc. This waste proved hazardous to hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means what? Water. So these waste are hazardous. Why it is hazardous? Because these things are eaten by the fish. And the fish die, and because of this deposits which are man-made, these are not good for the fish, and they die. And other than fish, there are also many problems which are faced by the oceans. So these man-made things are very much harmful for the hydrosphere, that is water life. It is harmful for the marine life as well as the environment. Now I will show you one more thing, that is sea level. Let's find out. So here you can see in this picture average level of high tide, average high tide, average sea level, average low tide, average level of lowest low tide. So what this picture indicates, let's find out. Now This indicates the mean sea level. The word mean indicates average. You might be finding this mean also in mathematics. So mean means what? Average. So here the average of high tide, you can see this high tide, highest high tide, and the average of lowest low tide is taken into consideration, and mean sea level is formed. So here with by taking this two into consideration, so that is average level of height and the lowest low tide is taken consideration is average sea level, that is mean sea level is formed. Thus, average is taken to be as 0. This means this sea level is taken to be as 0. Thus, elevation or depth of any place is measured by taking the sea level into consideration. So, if I have to measure any place above or below landform, so in the ocean bed, I have to consider this average sea level. So, by taking this into consideration, this is considered as 0. By considering average or mean sea level, I will be measuring the landform above the sea level or below the sea level. So, for example, Mount Everest. Now here you can see Mount Everest is 8,848 meters above the sea level. You can see Mount Everest. So, it is 8,848 meters below the sea level. While the Mariana Trench, you can see how deep it is. So this Mariana Trench is how much? 11,035 meters below sea level. So you might have noticed that whole Everest mountains can get submerged into this Mariana Trench. It is so deep. So this is the deepest trench in the world. I told you about this Mariana Trench before also. So here this Mount Everest is it is the highest peak, and it is measured. See how it is measured. It is measured above the sea level, and the sea level is considered, as I said you, 0. And Mariana Trench is 11,035 meters, that is below sea level. Okay. And in India, there are also some in India we consider for survey purpose the height of sea level at Chennai. We consider the Chennai sea level as 0, and the elevation of any place in India is measured with reference to it. So now if I have to measure any landform in India, so I will be considering Chennai first, because Chennai we have measured Chennai as 0 elevation, and any landform in India will be considered by keeping Chennai in consideration. Okay. Now we will quickly revise the summary which we have learned today. So, ocean floor is the bottom of the ocean. We have seen the ocean floor today. So, ocean floor is the bottom of the ocean. The surface of ocean floor is identified by considering various parameters such as landforms, depth, etc. So, these are the parameters through which the ocean floor is the structure of ocean floor is identified. Some examples of ocean structures are continental slope, marine deeps, abyssal plains. We also saw continental shelf, marine trenches, etc. So these were the some examples of ocean floor structures. Now, marine depositions are formed on the marine beds. There are 3 types of marine depositions. Marine deposits are formed on the continental shelf. So these are the 3 types. So one which is formed on the continental shelf. Second one is the marine oases that are found inside the ocean. So that are the deep sediments which are found inside the ocean. That are called as marine oases. And the last one is anthropogenetic deposits that are caused by humans, that are man-made. We saw that all garbage and the radioactive materials, those are the anthropogenetic deposits that are human induced deposits. So these were the 3 types of marine deposits. Now students, we will see some key terms that are the new terms which you have learned today. So we have seen ocean floor, continental shelf, continental slope, abyssal plain, marine deeps and trenches, marine depositions, marine deposits, marine oases, and anthropogenetic deposits. Now, students, I will be asking you some questions which you will be answering one by raising your hand and telling your name. Let's find out what are the questions for. Okay. Which part of the ocean floor is flat in structure? I will help you by giving the options. So I have given you 4 options over here: continental shelf, abyssal plains, marine deeps, or continental slope. Can someone answer me?
Continental slope.
Sorry.
Teacher, can I?
Yes, yes.
Abyssal plain.
Abyssal
Oh,
plain.
that's great. That's great. Very good. So the answer is abyssal plain. So the flat portion on the ocean floor is the abyssal plain, that is called as abyssal plain. Now let's go to the second question. Which part of the ocean floor is ideal for fishing? So the options are continental slope, marine trenches, continental shelf, or abyssal plain. Now which ocean floor is ideal for fishing?
Continental shelf.
Continental
Yes,
shelf.
very good, very
Continental shell.
Continental shell.
yes, yes, thank you. So continental shelf
Continental
is,
shelf.
is the part which is of the ocean floor which is good for fishing because of algae and planktons. There are many fishes for there. Algae and planktons are the fish, are the food for the fish. Because of that, there is more fishing area. And this continental shelf is little shallower portion. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you 2 more questions, but I will not be providing you the options this time. Let's see who can answer me about this question. So third question is, dash deposits are mainly formed on the continental shelf. You know this. Which deposits are formed on the continental shelf? Can anyone answer me about this? Continental shelf. Okay.
Teacher,
Marine
anthropogenic
Marine
deposits.
deposit.
Marine deposit.
Marine deposit.
Marine deposit.
Formed on the continental shelf. So marine deposits are formed on the continental shelf.
Marine.
Last one, dash deposits are harmful for the marine life and its environment. I told you, the man-made deposits.
Teacher,
Anthropogenic.
deposits.
Very
Anthropogenic deposit.
great. For you also, anthropogenic deposits are harmful to the marine life and its environment. Okay.
Chronic deposit.
So, yes, 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 very good. So what we have seen today is, we saw the mountains that were the landforms above the sea level, then the plateau, here you can see the plateau, the coast, and now we will see this ocean floor. This is beneath the ocean. Now you can see the sea part. This is the continental shelf. So here we can see the fishing grounds. Okay, which is good for human beings. Okay. And this is the steep slope. Steep slope. So this is the continental slope. Okay. Now here this is the marine trench. Marine trench. Okay. And this is the abyssal plain. Abyssal plain. This flat portion. This flat portion which we have seen. This is the island. Okay, which is coming out from the ocean, which is above the ocean. Okay. Now this is the level which I've considered as 0. You can say, which is considered as 0. And then this is the marine deep. So as this is little above the like, it is not as deep as the marine trench. So you can see it is not as deep as the marine. So that's why it is called as marine deep. While this is the deeper portion, we have seen it in the previous slide. This is the deeper portion. That's why it is called as marine trench. And this whole, the landforms are under the water, submerged under water, are called as ocean floor. So students, I hope you have understood the topic clearly. Okay, so I will just get back to our slide. Okay, so I hope you have understood the topic very clearly. So remember students, once after this, just go through the topic so that you can understand the concept, topic, the names more clearly, which will be helpful for you to understand the landforms, also the water, which is the landforms which are submerged under the water. So students, hope you all have enjoyed this and understood this topic very clearly. So now I will be in this topic over. Let's meet in the next lecture. Enjoy your day. Good day. Bye bye.